people, what's up? I am the Ultimate Doom here doing another video for you guys, and this time we're taking a look at the Mega Construx Breakout Beast Series 4 lineup. I love the Breakout Beasts mostly because they remind me of the old Mega Bloks Dragons lineup, specifically the Plasma Dragons. Anyways, there's a brand new lineup of dragons and beasts and dinosaurs and whatnot, and we're gonna take a closer look at them. So before we take a look at the Breakout Beasts themselves, I want to point out that the box has changed. This is the box that they come stored in. Obviously, you can buy them separately, but I was able to bring the box home, and it's pretty cool. You know, it's rectangle in shape this time around, not so squared. And you can open this up and pull out the Breakout Beast, but if it's not the one you want, you can put them back here or maybe even grab them from the top. So there's different ways to take out a random Breakout Beast, which I think is pretty cool. So it is different, but I like it. For the main Breakout Beast lineup, they come in these eggs, and they're a little different compared to the original Breakout Beast lineup. Compared to Series 1, 2, and 3, where it's kind of hard to tell which one is which unless you have the codes, which are etched out at the bottom. The codes are so you can easily figure out which one is which, if you know which one you're going to get. Based on the code, but they have different colored bottoms and the tops are transparent clear. Now, you might be thinking that, oh, the transparent clear plastic, it's going to be super easy to tell which one is which. You just need to see the color of the slime or the Breakout Beast itself. And while I wasn't really inspecting it closely, it was kind of hard to tell. The only one that was super easy to really pick out was Hydrak because it was completely blue. But even then, you also have that horse one that's Blazeburst, I believe it's his name, that's also got the blue slime, so it's kind of tricky to really figure out just by looking at the transparent color. You will also notice that the bases are different. One is in white, or at least 3 are in white. 3 are in this orange with this kind of speckled kind of design to it where it's got different colors thrown into it. And then 3 have this yellow color with this kind of glittery effect to it. So that's awesome because if you don't know anything about the code but you want different beasts, at least you can get 3 guaranteed different ones. So I think that's a nice touch. You can also store the slime in here, and they come in different colors. Blue, green, gold, and brand new red. As well as orange to match, well, obviously the base color. And you will notice that some of the transparent shells are different colors. I'm not sure if that's necessarily specific or if it's random, but you can see this one's more yellow than this. And every Breakout Beast also has a stand that you can plug the figure onto. You can also have them standing up because the post also goes that way, so you have options. I'm going in order of the codes. This is number 05, Blazeburst. Now, Blazeburst is probably the most pointless one of the group. That's not to say it's necessarily bad, but we kind of have something similar to this already with Freezer in Series 3. Now, this one actually fits the name Freezer more than Freezer actually did because this one has blue and white to it, which kind of fits that icy theme, and Freezer just had white, which I guess is okay, but he also had green and brown. It didn't really fit the name. So I do like this one a little bit more than the Freezer figure. I think he stands out a little better. I love that kind of cyan color scheme to it. It kind of looks like something from a 90s or 80s pop rock band with the tampos. You will notice that a lot of these Breakout Beasts sets for Series 4 have a lot more paint applications, except for seemingly Hydrak, mostly because he's got a massive helmet covering the face, but you'll notice it mainly on the face. Anyways, he's actually got a horn this time that's curved, so this is more of a unicorn. I do like the wings. I did think... I can't talk today. I did think that the wings were the same piece, but I realized, oh no, it was just warped a little bit, so I tried to bend the back. That is something that you'll have to watch out for. Some of these wing bits, especially the more feathery wings, seem to get warped inside the sack. But not bad, you know, you do have that speckled design in the white, and you've also got a transparent clear base. And I did notice that the slime seems to come out a lot easier in those transparent, or the body pieces, than they normally do. Sometimes it's really tricky to get it out. Anyways, he does not come with a flame piece, but you can open the mouth, and you can add something to it. And he's got blue eyes, and I think he's not bad. Again, the most pointless one, but I think he stands out just fine. Next up is 06 Balefire. Now, Balefire has the most interesting build out of all of them because it's the most unique. Instead of the wings attaching to the back, they attach to these arms thanks to these armature attachments to fill in the gaps. I think that that is a nice touch, and that's actually something that I was hoping to see in the Breakout Beast lineup, which I think is pretty cool. Unfortunately, with the multiple joints and the weight, they kind of droop. The ball joint droops, and sometimes this hinge joint tends to droop because, well, that's just how the wings are. You will notice that if you've collected enough Breakout Beasts, sometimes the wings aren't as tight as you want it to be, but I think that the idea of the build at least is very cool, and he does manage to stand up just fine, so that's nice. I also really like the tail and how that's built. It's not using any new pieces. The ball joint right here is the same piece that was used for the Mega Blocks and Mega Construx Halo lineup to attach armor to armory bays and stuff like that. So nothing really special going on with the parts themselves, but it's how they use it. I think that's a nice touch. I also like the unicorn and horsehair attachments on here to kind of fill out that section to flow with the wings. And I think that this is the best use of the griffin head so far. I just think that the color scheme really works for it, especially with that bright yellow and orange that just glows with this. I think that Balefire, at least, is my favorite build. Up next is Fire number 07, and I gotta say, this is the scariest looking Breakout Beast of them all. It almost matches with that unicorn from Series 3, I can't remember. Oh, Charcoal, that's what its name was. With the red and black, but this one goes a step further with the red paint applications on the face right there, and the eyes remain unpainted, so you got these dark black eyes, which is nice. I also like the neck piece and how the black kind of cracks in there like it's got lava seeking through it, especially on the tail right here. It doesn't flow with the body because most of this is just black with red underneath. It's transparent red, but overall the idea of it is really cool. It's also got the smaller wings, which apparently is from the, I believe it's from the Breakout Beast Spitter line, and it's got nice bright red wings, and it just looks so evil. I even love the paint on this end tail piece. That is really nice. Gold as an accent color really does work for it, and even the flame gets into that dark color scheme with the black swirls going into the flame piece. Gold teeth as well. Oh my god, he just looks evil and possessed, and I really do like it. Up next is number 08, Hydrak, and Hydrak has a very bright color scheme, so obviously this is very different to the previous one, but I really do like it. But I will say that the blue color kinda just looks a little too toyish for me, but I think what sells it for me is that green accent color. It's got some painted green. It's also got some light blue to it, which you can see that the fins are painted this time around with green tips and light blue inside there. That's really nice, but it's the transparent green that really sells it for me. You got that armor piece right there, and then you got this brand new helmet piece, and I'm a little worried that these little teeth bits will snap out at some point. They look like they're just barely holding on, but otherwise it's so wide and expansive that I almost feel like this was intended for the duo Breakout Beast set that combines, because it's just so massive. It doesn't really fit with this dragon, which, by the way, it's got that dragon head that was featured in the Series 2 lineup, which I really do like, and I think that this is really cool. It's also got the Game of Thrones style dragon legs, which I really do like that they're changing it up, because I was kind of tired of the same old dragon legs used over and over and over again, with the only difference being the horse legs. I think that this is really nice, very bright, very colorful, so if not everyone's into it, I get it, but I think he does a pretty good job. Especially if you got a black light, the transparent green looks amazing. Next up is number 09, Vile. Now, before I talk about Vile, I just wanted to quickly mention, because I keep forgetting to talk about the previous names that I mentioned, except for Blazeburst. Every name was reused for the Plasma Dragon lineup. So if you guys are nostalgic for those Mega Blocks Plasma Dragons and you guys remember the names, you might recognize some of these iconic names in Series 4, and there's going to be a lot more to talk about when I continue on. But the reason why I bring that up now is because Vile was actually my first Plasma Dragon alongside Sether. And to me personally, I love those two dragons. I grew up with them and they were wonderful. I still have them somewhere, and I'm probably going to do a comparison video eventually. But that is actually the reason why I was super excited for Vile, even though he's not really the standout. He doesn't come with a new head or anything like that. He does come with a new chest piece, which is similar to the one that was in the Duo Pack, but it is not the same piece. But the main reason why I wanted this was the name. He doesn't even look too similar to Vile, I'll admit that. I mean, he does have that lighter green color, but Vile's main color was blue originally. But this is going for something different, obviously you can see with the wolf head. And I think that this one looks pretty cool. I love the transparent green color going through it. It's kind of opaque, which I really do like. And it's also got the feathery wings, which I think is very cool. The wolf head is nice, but I wish that there was some attachment to it, like something on the head. It doesn't need that horn piece, but maybe some horns on the top in general, the tiny ones. I do like the scar on the side of the face, and that light green color looks pretty cool. You can see that throughout the body, and even through the tail. That's got the wolf tail right there, so that's pretty nice. It's also got some marks on the side here. In red, it's actually a pinkish red, but it looks pretty cool, it looks like he's been through some battle. So, very nice looking piece, but the main reason why I really do like this is obviously the name. Next up is number, 10? Almost slipped my mind. Tailtorn, and the same thing goes for this. This was a name that was given from the Plasma Dragon lineup that has been featured in the Breakout Beast Series 4 lineup, and this one is really impressive. Mostly for that, like, neon green color. It's not glow in the dark, but it almost looks like it, especially when you got those giant horns on the top. Now, that is a piece that you have to watch out for because a lot of people have been getting this set and have noticed that these horns get warped in the sack. Usually they're bent back completely far to where it just looks so off, but mine seems to be okay. It is a little warped on this side, but I can manage with it. But I gotta say this thing looks really nice. I love that kind of sand brown color scheme going throughout it. It's kind of majestic in a way, but it's still terrifying. Look at the green going around the eye. It's also got green in the ear and nose. It's got this goldish copper armor to it. Oh man, I just think that this one really fits its color scheme pretty well. It's bright, but it still kind of terrifies me in a way. I love the horns. I think that is a nice way to bring in some pieces from the crystal creatures over to the Breakout Beast. I think overall, this is really cool. Moving on to Neo Slash, this one is really cool for its color scheme. I really like how everything seems to spread out. It's wacky, but it's consistently inconsistent. And what I mean by that is, yes, it's got different colors to it, but at least there's an idea here. It's not like Frostnarl where, oh yeah, you can see that it's got an icy theme, but he had big chunks of parts that were in random colors, so the overall theme just didn't really flow. This one does, with its lighter purple color, its transparent purple torso, this kind of Covenant vehicle purple, and then the green going throughout it in the face and in the wings. You could also see the reddish, purplish color in the eye and in the claws. I just think that this one really does work. It's also got the brand new dinosaur head in purple, which I think is a nice touch. And, as well, this is a name that was not featured in any of the other Mega Bloks lineups, at least from what I could tell, so this is brand new for the Breakout Beast lineup. I like the color scheme, this is something really wild, and I think overall, it looks nice. The code is number 11. Next up is Trilobite, which is number 12 on the list, and I gotta say this one's nice for having a central theme to it. This one feels a little more down to earth. It's got mostly copper with brown. For some of the other parts, it's got the stone armor to it, including the ram's skull-shaped armor piece right here, and what's on the fists and the claws, very nice. It's also got some it's also got some interesting stripes to it on the face and on the legs, and it's got these orange spikes on the top, which looks very cool and adds to the color scheme. I really do like that. Just overall, I think that Trilobite is simple, but I think that it really works. It really sells on what it wants to be. You can kind of tell what it's going for, and I think it works for that. So, wonderful piece. And last but not least, for the Breakout Beast Series 4 lineup, this is number 13, T-Rex, spelled with the W. Now, while the name is not carried over from the Plasma Dragon lineup, it is still carried over, but not from the same company. it's carried over from a Transformer that was a repaint of, I believe, the Beast Wars Megatron, so there's a little more history going on with the name. And I gotta say, honestly, this one could probably work with the He-Man universe type stuff. So if you're into that Mega Bloks, Mega Construx lineup, you might want to get this just to see if it really does fit in well. I don't know, there's just something about this dinosaur look to it, this ancient dinosaur with this armor. I don't know, I think it really works, but I gotta say that out of all the Breakout Beasts, this is probably the weakest one. I get why they had to do it because they did introduce that dinosaur head, but it just looks like a dinosaur to me. I don't know, there's just nothing really special, nothing about it really screams, oh, Breakout Beast. I do like the armor pieces. You get a lot of those spike pieces, so if you're into that, that's wonderful. But I just, overall, I keep seeing this as just a dinosaur set and not really a Breakout Beast set, which is fine. I mean, these are Breakout Beasts. There's, you know, they're beasts. They're not really meant to be specifically anything. You know, they could be dragons or, you know, monsters or anything like that. So it's not like it doesn't fit with the overall theme. It's just the color scheme, the simplicity of the T-Rex, it just looks like a T-Rex to me. But it's not bad. It's very consistent with the green and yellow. I do like that. I love the markings on the head. I think that's wonderful. And just for an added bonus, it's also spitting out flames. I mean, a dinosaur spitting out flames, why not? So yeah, it's still nice. I did notice that if you try to do what the packaging shows and have it straightforward, it falls over. So you kind of have to have this going upwards a bit. So there is that, just something to note, but otherwise, very cool little piece. It's just, I keep seeing a dinosaur in this, which I guess is the intention of it, but I don't know, there's just something, I feel like it could go a little more with it, but I feel like it's doing what it wants to do, and that's alright. So overall, what's my opinion on the Breakout Beast Series 4 lineup? Personally, I think I like Series 3 a little bit more, but what I really like about Series 4 is each individual Breakout Beast has its own theme going for it, its own idea, and they just focus on that and it really works. So overall, I recommend checking out Series 4 if you can. I think that it's a wonderful lineup. I can't even pick a favorite because the individual Breakout Beast does their own thing, and I think it really works. So with that out of the way, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and all those fun dudettes, and I will see you guys next time.